It's over. Peace at last. I can't believe it. I've done it, Father.
My thanks.
Well done, Lucina. You've saved the world. All of you. Lady Tiki, it wasn't us. We have you to thank. And those warriors who came to our aid. Without them, we would have perished, and all hopes for the future with us.
Well,
Perhaps, but we only had the chance to help you because you held fast. Even against terrible odds, you refused to give up. You should be proud. From this day on, you should be the pillars on which a peaceful future is built. And you as well, my lady.
no.
No, Lucina, my role is finished. I cannot stay here with you. Remember, I am no longer the divine dragon's voice, but she herself. I must not meddle in human affairs. But, my lady,
I believe in you.
do not worry, Lucina. I'll always be watching over you. Do not cry for me. Do not cry! Just as the Hero King and your father continue to do so. I may be out of reach, but I will always be close. Lady Tiki,
Right.
thanks. As long as you're watching, I won't let you down. I promise to bring this world an era of peace that can never be broken.
Thank you.
And I know you will. May we one day meet again, Lucina. There will always be a place for the 12 heroes at Noga's side. Rah! She's gone. Yes, she'll be missed, but I believe we'll see her again.
Right.
Me too, and we'll certainly have our hands full in the meantime. After all, we just saved the world. I bet Mother and Father never expected me to do anything even half as amazing as this. You see that? I'm not such a letdown of a daughter. After all. No. I just wish they were here.
Yes.
Well, there's no bringing them back. But we can keep them alive by protecting this world they dreamed of and died for. Isn't that right, Minerva? I agree. They'll be watching over us every step of the way. It's so strange. I feel like I've stepped into another existence. All of our struggles, our battles with the Risen, our journey into Plegia. They already feel like they happened to someone else. I used to wish that I would wake up to find it had all been a nightmare. But now when I wake, I shall be overjoyed at the knowledge that this is no dream.
Right.
Indeed, what matters is that this is real. And there will especially be a place for you, Lucina. Huh. Is anyone else a little surprised by that? No. Had I lost even one of you along the way, we wouldn't be here. Each of you played an irreplaceable part in this victory. Especially you, Noir. Oh. Oh, goody. Thank you. Elise and I are so lucky to have you. And we're lucky to have you. You're the hero of all heroes.
Yeah.
I'm proud to know you all. Your strength and determination inspire me. I'm just glad everyone's safe. There were times when I assumed the worst.
No problem.
We'll never be apart again, and our whole lives are ahead of us.
Well,
There are no words. What do you even say? I mean, curse these tears that flow unbidden. I'll enjoy it. I'm hoping this will be our last cry in a good long while. Damn right. Gotta let it all out right now.
hey, I'm
Thank the
alive.
gods we've all survived. I could do somersaults. Well, we should be off. Night will fall soon. Our first peaceful night for as long as I can remember. We need to tell as many people as we can, so that they too can rest at ease. Tomorrow, a new sun will rise on Elise. Many did not survive to see it, but those of us who will must dedicate our lives to protecting that light.
You have my gratitude.
Tiki, my friends, I thank you again. And you, Father, you who crossed between worlds to save me. May the gods keep you safe. Oh, an open field for us. Where is everyone? They're late. But Laura, the meeting doesn't start for another 10 minutes. What if it was a wedding? The wedding doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Well, they ought to be early so we can start on time. Shepherds don't gather just for ceremony, you know. It's been less than a year since we defeated Grima. Already they're acting as if the world is immune to crises.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize, Noir. Yeah, but I think it would be a wedding for all of them. Yeah, it's... That's what it is. It's Kelly and Severa's wedding. You got here even earlier than I did.
Well,
I was the first one here. I camped out. Why did you camp? It's not like there's a line or something. I figured I could work on these while I waited.
Intriguing.
Oh, that's right. I heard you started making good luck charms for the people. Wonder. Wonder? Ah, Wonder, yes. I'm writing a new book, you see. I'm told they're quite the hit. Must be that happiness curse you put on them. Can I have a look at that one?
insolence.
Desist, fool. Your clumsy hands will only destroy my creation. Ooh. Right then.
Huh?
Well, you two are early. I thought I would be the first here. It's my big day.
Is it over?
Hello, Kelly. Have you finished evaluating the new recruits?
Yeah.
I have. They're quite tough. Although that probably goes without saying, considering the horrors they've survived. They'll make fine shepherds. Don't you agree, Owain?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, something. Oh, that Tenfinia girl. I don't know how we're gonna hang with that.
Huh?
That's all you have to say? They were something? Who are you and what have you done with Owain? Haven't you heard? Owain's world has been shattered.
Say.
Shattered? How? You don't understand. The world finally speaks my language. Huh?
Down, sword hand.
Now when I say my sword hand twitches, people don't look at me funny. They say, Lord Owain will show the forces of evil what's what, or don't mess with the blood of the exalt. They actually say what I expect them to. I don't know how to cope.
Pathetic.
Well, enjoy it while you can. The novelty will wear off soon enough. Heh, that's what you think. I'm already toying with the idea of adapting my adventures for the theater. Just imagine, Tales of the Great and Mighty Owain, now with song and dance. I'd rather not imagine that, actually. Is that Inigo and Brady and Yarn now, too? Inigo, Brady, Yarn, and Dirt now. Kelly. Hey, over here. It's good to see y'all again. How long has it been? Feels like just yesterday we were fighting that evil dragon, yeah? Ah, keep it down, Brady. You're gonna give away my position. What, are you still worried about going extinct? It's an open field, my guy. Everyone can see you.
What?
Are you kidding? No. Trying to get away from those lunatic conservatives. Apparently the Elysians found out how rare Yarn's species is. Now they've started to Save the Tagwell Foundation. I try to eat anything even remotely suspect, they pin me to the ground. It's a bunch of, like, Donald villagers running around. They won't let me shapeshift either, in case I become a target. So sick of being treated like a pet I could retch. Not exactly a dream come true, huh? It's nice to not worry about dying out, but they follow me everywhere. And I mean everywhere.
Ooh.
I know the feeling. Ah, Jesus, who are you? Oh, nah, oh. It's good to see you all. You too, but...
What's that?
Those are some serious bags under your eyes there. What gives? Morning. Tell me about it. I can barely sleep. Now that Lady Tiki's gone, everyone started worshipping me. Worshipping. Nah. They think I'm the new voice. Oh, I love that show. Can't so much as step outside without being hounded. Finally, someone who understands my pain. The rest of you are lucky you're human.
Trust me.
Then again, they give me absolutely anything I ask for, which is kind of nice. Let me know if you need anything. I got you covered. Anything? Oh yeah, all kinds of things. Literally anything.
What?
On second thought, you don't understand my pain at all.
What?
What was that screech, Godzilla?
You there?
How dare you speak so rudely of such a fine creature? Oh, stranger danger! Whoever you are, stay away! Huh? Yarn's right, I don't recognize him either. Are you one of the new recruits? I'll find someone to take care of you.
Hey.
Sorry for the trouble, but there are a few papers you'll need to fill out first. Step into my office. He puts his glasses on.
Fool.
Are you all daft? It's me, Jerome.
What?
Jerome? Oh yeah, I guess you were sort of shaped like that. Where's your mask? Where's your mask? I decided I no longer need it. I haven't worn it in some time, actually. To be honest, it made it kind of hard to see the wyverns.
I see.
And how's the wyvern conservation project going?
Yes.
Well enough. Wyvern Valley will be back on its feet before you know it. Truthfully, the best part of taking off my mask is that now no one recognizes me. No one treats me like a hero. I'm completely blissfully anonymous. Lucky you. Perhaps we all should have worn masks during our struggles. Or maybe we should all go buy some right now.
What?
Oh yes, I'm sure that'll stop us from standing out. Anyway, I like being a celebrity. The house is always packed when Grimace Slayer takes the dance floor.
Huh?
You finally became a dancer? I became someone who dances anyway. Makes people smile and then makes me happy too. Things go well, might start making offers to dance at festivals.
Whoa.
That'd be amazing. Just think of all the girls who would throw themselves at your feet.
Well.
I'm sort of over all that. Well, not quite over it, but... Wait a second. The world's most notorious womanizer has retired?
Quite.
It's just... Now that I dance, girls smile back even without a terrible pickup line. And besides, I'm busy with my shepherd duties, and dance practice and the like. I think he met someone. And we know who it was. No kidding. Messed up your steps in the third song on today's set. Was it that obvious?
You know?
Was it obvious? I thought I was playing the wrong song, you klutz. Mess up all you want in practice, but you better shape up for the real deal. Although, I could stand to work on my playing a bit too. Yeah, it'd probably help if you gave up weeping during your own accompaniment.
Say.
Brady's playing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I write the songs, play a little violin, and he dances along. I always wanted to be a composer, so it was a good fit. Ma wanted it too. She was alive. Well, I think it's wonderful you both made your dreams come true. Thanks. I brew a mean cup of tea too, you know. One of these days I'll run with that. Maybe open up a little shop, a little fast food. But right now, I got other things on the slate. Wayne's gonna join us, he said. What was the idea again?
My sword hand.
Gonna immortalize my numerous adventures in song and dance. My vocal cords twitch! Here we go again. So is everyone here? We should get started. Pardon me, but might I join you? Ah.
Huh?
Lucina.
What?
Shouldn't you be in the castle? Don't worry, I've left Illistal in the hands of capable soldiers. Who is it? Who's left? It'll be fine while I'm away. We're not worried about Illistal, we're worried about you. As gifted as you are with a sword, the exiled shouldn't be walking around alone.
What?
Who said I was alone?
What?
Huh? Ta-da! Say hello to Cynthia of the all-new Elysian Pegasus Knights.
What?
Cynthia, where did you come from? Great entrance, right? I always dreamed Fela's Knights would one day ride again. And hey, if the Shepherds get another shot, who says the Pegasus Knights can't too? Cynthia begged me and I just couldn't say no.
Leave it to me.
Hey, either way, you need protection, right? Win-win. Me and my sisters won't let anyone put a scratch on you.
Huh?
Sisters? Who else is at the Pegasus Knights? Corrupt.
What?
Sarah! I was wondering why I hadn't seen you at the Shepherd's camp before your wedding. You enlisted in the Pegasus Knights?
Any complaints?
Does it matter? Yeesh, I wasn't about to say no to Cynthia. Don't get in your head that I want to be like my mother. Why would I ever think that?
Yeah.
Severa's amazing, you guys. I'm so glad we did the A support. She handles a lance better than anyone, and you should see her toss a javelin. I bet Cordelia herself couldn't throw half as far. The rest of us have a lot of catching up to do.
Wow.
I can see the capital's in good hands. And I am too, so put your worries to rest. She got her girlies, they're her knights. And really, can you blame me for coming? You gather everyone together and don't even invite me? I've missed you. Oh no! You take after your father, Lucina, at least from what I've heard. Anyway, here we all are, the 12 heroes, us! Let's get this meeting started, Lauren. We are gathered here today. Thank you all for coming to this regular meeting of the Shepherds. Totally normal meeting for us today.
Simply put,
Before we get started, though, I have a bit of a report about the restoration of Mount Prism, which is... Aww. Jerome, please keep your mount quiet during the meeting.
yes.
Sorry. What is it, Minerva? What? This is bad. Minerva says she senses Risen nearby. Huh?
Listen.
Just a few of them, but damn. I thought we got rid of them all. I guess peace is an ongoing project.
Quite.
We'll finish them off. These things take time.
I shall see.
And so the mighty heroes fought on, uncertain as to when their tale would end.
Get busy.
Heh, let the Risen come. We'll knock them into next week. It has been a while since we really flexed our muscles, hasn't it?
Let's go.
I know. I'm going to enjoy scattering these scoundrels. I'm glad I brought my bow.
Say.
Now hold on just a moment. You're not all marching out there, are you? It's just a handful of Risen.
Can it?
Heh, you can never be too sure. We shouldn't spare any resources when it comes to keeping the locals safe. Better too many of us than too few.
Let's dance.
Yeah, Laurent, so stop complaining and get your equipment. What? I didn't volunteer. I'm the priest. Oh, right.
Let's go.
Look out, Vile Risen. Crom's new shepherds are about to ruin your day.
Oh.
Lucina?
What?
What's wrong, Cynthia?
Yeah, see.
You think they'll be alright?
Are you dead?
Against a handful of Risen, I think they can handle things. Come on, they haven't even been gone an hour. Oh, time has passed? Or wait, let me guess. You want an excuse to try out your new battle cries? That's not true. I'm just worried, that's all.
Alright.
It's alright, Cynthia. I understand. Go check on our friends. Consider that an order from your exalt. You mean it? Thanks, sis. You sure you should be sending one of your guards away?
It's all right.
I still have you, Severa. And let's not forget I have myself. I've smashed apart my share of Risen. Ha, if they think the Exalt's an easy target, they're in for a nasty surprise. You don't even need Pegasus Knights, do you? Not really.
But don't you see?
Of course I need you. You're the source of my strength.
Yes.
I mean it.
Yeah. And
If you say so. Well, Cynthia's got her orders, so why don't you and I wait for her at the castle? I'll give you a ride. Let me just get saddled up and I'll be right back.
you have my gratitude.
Thanks, Severa. The sky's lovely today, isn't it, Father? I can't tell you how happy I am. How lucky I am to be safe with my friends. But I feel guilty, too. Guilty knowing that you and Mother, and so many others, cannot share in this joy. If only this sword of mine would glow again, and bring the real you here by my side. It's a silly wish, isn't it? Even an Exalt has her flights of fancy, I suppose. Lucina, all ready?
Right.
I'll be right there. The sky is lovely, Lucina. Just the sort of sky we fought to see again. But I'm already at your side, my daughter. I always will be. Your sword may not flash, and you may not hear my voice, but all my friends are just a whisper away, watching over you. Isn't that right, Skibbity? Always. Bruh. The lads. Oh, that was awesome. Oh! We got one last Skibbity in. Oh, wonder. Yep. I think it was perfect to save that for the end. A wonderful little epilogue for us. And that's it. Guys, that's the end. Happy birthday. Ooh. And I'm never voice acting a playthrough again. Oh, you can read next time. You got eyes. Oh, I promised I would do Path of Radiance. Hey, Kingo, that means a lot. Really, it does. I'm very proud of this project. Very happy with how it turned out. I guess we just... I thought there'd be maybe credits or something, but there wasn't. So we can hop over to the tier list now, I guess. And we can talk about the game while we do that. A text-to-speech bot? That could be fun. Who's gonna make it? Will? We're gonna use, what's it called? What's that new AI, that newfangled AI? Maybe we could hop on that. DeepSeek. That's just another Grillback's nickname. DeepSeek. Oh, that would be an abomination. Alright guys, you know the drill by now. Here they are. Our friends. I'm gonna mute this. and hop onto our music. Excuse me. Oh, that would be funny. I would be impressed by that. Where the heck is this? I guess I could just close it, right? We're done. Goodbye, Maribel. Where's my... Right here. All right. Oh God, what is this song? There we go.
Guess who?
With conflict resolved, peace returned to Elise, and so too did boredom. Restless and eager for excitement, Alyssa set forth for new adventures with her husband, Gaius, and the two amassed a motley following of their own along the way. Though Gaius would take many an arrow for her, Alyssa's healing prowess more than made up for it, and inspired their fanatical followers even further. The couple became famous among adventurers, with their exaggerated tales shared in taverns across the land.
Shall we?
It has been a pleasure.
As Exalt Chrome's right-hand man, Frederick was busier than ever. Hardly faced by the challenge, the new Elysian Knight Captain tripled down on his duties with the Grand. Never one to be shown up, Schurz settled into Illistal quickly and made her own mark with a newly trained Wyvern Brigade to mend the holes left by feeless flyers. Rumor has it that the couple's days off were actually spent babysitting the eventual royal children. There was said to be no task too daunting, and no order too tall for the duo.
You ready to party?
Looks like Teach just got tenure.
Sully grew to be a widely respected general, known for her commanding yet charismatic voice. Thanks to her hard work and accomplishments, many young women who were previously discouraged by the status quo chose to enlist, citing her as their inspiration. While his wife fought tooth and nail for her country, Vake raised his axe against prejudice. He would grow into a folk hero of sorts, known for picking fights with anyone stupid enough to display bigotry in his presence. The couple would have 3 children, Kelly, Christopher, and Stuart, who would each have a role to play in a future conflict Elise would face. But that's a tale for another day.
All hail me.
Get on with it.
With his home of Rosanne having branded him as a traitor, the ever-noble Virion chose to be the bigger man, despite his wife's objections. The king started a new life with Tharja and Regniferox, taking up Flavia's offer to be her champion in the yearly bout. Tharja was known to wander off for weeks at a time for her work, mentioning no words about her disdain for the cold. Never was she present for any of Virion's bouts. Peculiarly, however, his opponents always seemed to come down with a bout of sickness or other misfortune right before their battle, keeping Virion's undefeated streak alive and well.
Very nice.
Well, I feel edified.
After the war, the couple took yet another trip to Disney, where they were finally lucky enough to meet Mickey in the flesh. Muriel demanded to know the secrets taught to him by Master Yensid, while Stahl begged him to sing the hot dog song with him. It's said that the duo caused more distress to the park patrons and staff than the recent Risen attacks did, but no matter how hard security tried, you simply couldn't keep these two away.
Yeehaw!
That was something.
Cordelia and Donald began to raise Pegasi in the countryside. Through the couple's combined expertise, Cordelia trained an entire fleet to revolutionize Elysian air travel. She finally received acknowledgement from Crom when he personally appointed her Elysian Minister of Transportation, a title she'd wear with pride. Meanwhile, having learned many a valuable lesson on his adventure, Donald remained determined to approach life's many challenges with an open mind. Many accounts recall him weeping joyous tears at his daughter's wedding, which is much more than can be said for the Donald of old.
I didn't want to do this!
Are you done?
Lon'qu and Olivia remained in Regna Ferox under Basilio's wing for some time, returning to their duties from before the war. However, the Khan eventually encouraged the two of them to go out and see the world, hoping they'd be able to overcome their respective social weaknesses. Olivia gained fame performing in venues across the continent, with Lon'qu working security and handling many a rowdy ruffian in the crowd in exchange for free booze. Neither of the two really ever overcame their own insecurities in full, but they instead opted to cover each other's weaknesses.
My turn!
Don't worry, I'm here.
Having had more than his fill of being mocked by the more seasoned warriors of the Shepherds, Rickon returned to matters he cared much more about, such as matters of the law. Tutored by his friend Maribel, Rick became a hotshot, prodigious lawyer. Noe left one bench to sit at another as Ricky's legal assistant, providing a much more laid-back and silly contrast to Rickard's panicked and over-serious nature. The duo became famous immediately, debuting with an astonishing defense in the notorious Turnabout Tactics case, proving Aversa's innocence in the mysterious murder of Hubba during the Einherjar heist.
It's Gregor time!
And so it ends.
The latest record documenting a Gregor sighting places him at a certain wedding banquet, where he was witnessed being approached by Winchilda and a small auburn-haired child. An eyewitness claims that nearly as soon as the conversation started, Gregor began choking on his food, dropped his plate, and ran out of the building towards the horizon. Not much else is known. Pan was not aware where he may have disappeared to, nor was she very interested. As far as she was concerned, Gregor had already more than contributed in his role as savior of the Tagwell, and history would remember him as such.
Go in peace.
With peace obtained, Libra went on a pilgrimage in the Outrealms to search for others in need and spread the faith. His travels eventually took him back to the Hot Realm, where he reunited and became increasingly close with Beach Anna. Something clawed at the back of Libra's mind, as though trying to escape.
No.
Suddenly, one day, it happened.
Gods, forgive
Upon
me.
accidental discovery of one of Beach Anna's porno tomes, the Libra within was unleashed, and his true personality finally came to the forefront.
Your mother.
He'd found his true calling, and upon those sands, he established the first church of Atami.
Good times.
Henry's success on the Wheel of Welcome led to newfound fame and opportunity, the likes of which he'd never seen before. He leveraged this to kickstart the stand-up comedy career he'd always dreamed of. Unfortunately, Henry was busted before a show in the Valmese capital for illegal possession of dark magic. Henry's said to have escaped from the police wagon escorting him to his prison, leaving it in flames. They were never able to find him. He was certainly gone as fast as he'd come, but some say you can hear his iconic chuckle among the stirring of birds whenever a storm is brewing.
Welcome! 2 for 1!
Friday, Anna used the Outrealm Gate to return to Fodlan after Apotheosis, as she had unfinished duties with the Green Goats. It's said that she had a one-on-one conversation with Grillbacks before leaving. Though the contents of said conversation are unknown, she's said to have left the realm without any regrets. Meanwhile, Tuesday Anna decided to get right to work on her next get-rich-quick scheme after seeing the success of her Wheel of Welcome. To her shock, however, she returned to her workshop to find that the wheel had mysteriously gone missing.
Sleep well.
Having gained a newfound inspiration and confidence over the course of this magical adventure with such colorful friends, Tiki tried her hand at theater and excelled, after some formal training. The voice of Naga would become a household name, doing seasonal tours and taking time off for hibernation as necessary. Eventually, she would go on to write plays as well. As a gift to her friends from both past and present, she would pen such classics as Shadow Dragon, The Mystery of the Emblem, and Awakening, immortalizing their many adventures and giving her a way to relive the memories of her friends long after their passing.
My turn.
Sayri returned to Chunsin, finally ready to rule in her brother's place after putting it off for quite some time. It wouldn't be easy for her starting out, but her DDMU mentality guided her in fostering her citizens with a motherly love. while still making sure to steel her warrior's resolve to prevent another Walhart situation. Aye, Shonsin certainly thrived under her leadership, and it's all thanks to her time as a Sigvop, Crom's Ike's Gotcha Vivi One Piece.
I.
Now we're talking.
Lavia enjoyed a long, relatively uncontested reign thanks to her cravat-wearing compatriot. Though Regna Ferox suffered many losses during the war, they bounced back stronger than ever under the East Khan's tutelage. Ferox and Elise would remain close friends thanks to the strong bond of their respective rulers, and the two nations would prosper for years to come. The West Khan got right back to work scouting potential talent to dethrone Flavia's unbeatable champion. Luckily for him, he was far more traveled than his rival, and his network ran deep. Though he would try and fail many times to overcome the opposition, Vasilia would recruit many notable warriors over the years, such as Tapkar the Trickster, Moraiko the Berserker, and even Paikon, the Feroxi Dread Fighter, whose legend would begin very soon.
Just as planned.
It's been lovely.
As promised to Grobax, Inigo took great care of Morgan and supported her endeavors. Though he'd never fully shake his flirtatious habits, she would always be the only woman he'd have room for in his heart. His step-dancing career would help fund her dream. Together with her mother, Morgan opened up a bookstore, which she'd leverage to further her studies. Morgan's pursuit of knowledge and unorthodox strategies paved the way for her to follow in her father's footsteps as a legendary tactician. Though her memories of old would never return, the new memories would leave her head full and her heart fuller.
The enemy!
My sword hand twitches.
Seeking more chapters in this epic legend, Owain ventured forth into the Outrealms, Noir reluctantly in tow. However, through extended exposure to her boisterous husband, Noir gradually became more comfortable coming out of her shell as well, and her two personalities slowly met in the middle to return to one. They would later raise a daughter, Ophelia, and the trio would gain a reputation across worlds as one of the most eccentric bands of heroes to ever grace history.
Hand hungers.
Blood and thunder! You are boring me! Over here! Don't forget me.
Severa and Kelly were wed shortly after the war. It was a long ceremony, as both of them took forever to just be direct with each other and get through their vows. But it was a jubilant celebration shared by family, friends, and even total strangers. Kelly continued her training in Ferox to remain a stalwart champion for the weak, eventually succeeding her mother's role in the military. Meanwhile, Severa opened a tavern in the heart of the capital for weary soldiers. Though she ran a tight ship, Severa did gain a reputation as a confidant of sorts to all of her regular patrons, as gossip was known to be her guilty pleasure.
Pay attention.
Cynthia was still set on being a hero, even in times of peace, so she followed her dream in the only way that made sense, by becoming a teacher. Her colorful, novel language and teaching style fostered the youth of the next generation. Once a year, she would take her students on a field trip to New Wyvern Valley, where her husband Jerome would take the children on rides through the sky and lecture them on environmental preservation. Though the next generation would turn out a bit quirky as a result, theirs would be a generation of peace and play, a dream that the warriors of the future had fought so valiantly to bring into reality.
Wait, it's over?
No! You go extinct!
Though he was offered sanctuary, Yarn declined and remained on the run for the foreseeable future. Blissfully unaware of the countless other sons of Gregor, he had many a close run-in with what he thought would be extinction, doing no favors for his crippling fear. One day, Yarn's den was stumbled upon by a local hunter, one Ruger Fudd, leading to a confrontation between the two. Though Yarn remained terrified at first, he quickly recognized his assailant's incompetence and began to toy with him, something he didn't know he had in him. The pair would find themselves in many a wacky, slapstick encounter moving forward, and a bizarre rivalry would be born between hunter and hunted.
He's a decent guy, once you get to know him.
Happy to assist.
Laurent had obtained the ultimate magic, Set a Flare, bringing his quest to a close. His next goal was to crack its code and further human understanding of magic. His research and discoveries revolutionized the field and brought about many cultural advancements. Laurent became an accomplished writer, penning many an encyclopedia report. But he was no stranger to writing novels to flex his imaginative mind as well. His graphic novel series, Bone, became especially iconic among the Elysian youth.
Over here!
As a Manichaean, Na's lifespan was much longer than most others in the army, making her hesitant to get too close to anyone. She didn't let this get her down, however, and she instead led a very independent and fulfilling life. One day, feeling nostalgic, Na returned to the haunted mansion in which the army first found her. She once again encountered the Mire guys, but this time she was able to overcome them on her own and tame them. Na became mistress of the mansion, kept company by her new undead servants. Life would be far more exciting for the recluse from here on out, and many a scary story would be spread by trespassers chased away from this fantastical locale.
If I must.
Gangrel disappeared shortly after the battle without so much as a goodbye. Unfortunately, there's no record of where he was headed or what he would do going forward. The once mad king had taken his leave from history, and all that could be agreed upon is that he likely returned to Plegia. Some would claim he simply died in some ditch, but others noted that he resembled some descriptions of the fabled Grimleal Reaper, a vigilante who threatened remnants of the old Grimleal to keep them in check after Grayman's demise. Perhaps Gangrel had decided to atone in a way only he knew how, but until further proof is discovered, we can never know for sure.
I am Wolhart, the Conqueror!
Walhart refused to let the opportunity to someday best Maribel slip away from him, training tirelessly and keeping his rival close. One day, the once feared conqueror awoke to find himself sweeping the storefront of Maribel's bookstore and packing lunches for the young grill spawns. Someday, somehow, he swore he would surpass that woman.
Troglodyte.
But for the time being, perhaps a change of his usual pace wasn't so bad. Emerin left behind a lasting legacy, both in Elise and in Plegia. While exiled Crom certainly had his own style of ruling, nobody could deny that he ultimately emphasized peace and diplomacy, as his sister before him did. There are, however, a number of popular conspiracy theories suggesting that she actually survived her supposed sacrifice and is alive and well, hiding away in the Havana realm. Such claims cannot be verified and are likely falsified.
So be it.
Not many can claim to know what happened in the warrior's tomb that day, or how Yanfei could have been sighted. However, surveyors from Chonsin had discovered that the tomb was built over a volcanic vent and deemed the area unsafe for further study. It's very possible that the events that unfolded that day were the results of hallucinations induced by natural gas. But was that really the case?
Don't forget me.
Aversa, sick of the gloom and doom of the bench, decided to steal the iron hair jar from the vault and have some fun. If she couldn't be appreciated among the Shepherd's Company, then she'd simply create her own band of comrades. To test their collective might, she set back out for the wellspring of truth once more, and attempted to build the perfect team for a mock battle. Somehow, she still ended up on the bench.
You know.
DNA tests performed by Muriel revealed that Priam was actually just some guy from Valm, waving around a plastic replica of Ragnell. He was expelled from the Shepherds and sent into exile. After Crom banished him, Priam swore revenge and warned all who would listen to, "Watch out for me and Fire Emblem 2 Awakening." Some say he's still waiting in the Garden of Giants to this day.
It's my big moment!
At some point during the battle with Gangrel's Plegia, Callum picked up the mysterious Y-liner, losing what little presence he had left, and vanishing from the public consciousness entirely. In spite of the fact that he could no longer be perceived, Callum continued to watch over his friends and capture their stories. Though his own identity would be lost to time, he would leave his mark on history through his writings. Someone had to pen these endings after all.
You ready to fly?
With Tiki's assistance, Lucina and Melvin were granted special permission by Naga to return back to their original timeline, to the surprise of many. After some difficult goodbyes, they were on their way, with promises to return someday. Thanks to their newfound strength and experience, they dispatched the Morgans with ease, and finished off the lurking Grima. Lucina ascended the throne, while Melvin led reconstruction efforts, slowly ushering in the age of peace the realm had craved for so long. The couple bore a striking resemblance to Crom and his faithful tactician from years prior, inspiring hope that things were finally going to be okay.
Hope will never die!
Coming through.
Anything can change!
While he would no doubt lead Elise into an era of peace and prosperity, the Crom we know could never be content with a boring approach. A few years into peacetime, to keep life exciting, he and Queen Sumia were giddy to unveil to the realm their new and fairly controversial plan. Every 4 years, a tournament would be held to decide a new ruler of Elise. Many deemed the couple immature and unfit to rule for even suggesting such an insane plan, but were humbled over time after seeing the benefits to both the economy and the unity of the continent after debuting it. Crom would go undefeated well into his old age, where he'd finally be bested by his own daughter, a loss he'd accept with a grin.
Crom! We're not done yet!
Now that's strategy.
I'm impressed.
Grillbacks continued to work by Crom's side as his most trusted advisor, and the two would remain lifelong friends. Most of his free time was spent at home with his wife, Maribel, much to her pleasure. Fate has quite a sense of humor. Few could have ever predicted that these two would end up together at the beginning of this adventure, but as they say, third time's the charm. Though they'd certainly have their fair share of bickering over tea, literature, whatever else could get them heated, nobody could deny that these two were inseparable. Grill and Maribel would grow old together, basking in the peace they'd fought so hard to obtain.
My humble thanks.
May we meet again.
Hey. I promise most of that was made in 2024. Most of it. I promise. It's the year of doing nothing. It was really 50-50 in the end. It was really 60-40 in the end. It was really 70-30 in the end. Real quick, I want to talk about how that was made. First of all, wonderful. I was very excited to show that. I saw that we had a massive plummet in frames in the middle. But I think it was during, like... I think it was during Flavia and Basilio, maybe? Which were throwaways anyway. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Could you hear me at least? That's the main thing. I'll be uploading it anyway. As a separate little thing. So you can watch it again if you missed anything. Yeah, I mean, the visuals weren't that important for most of it. As long as you could read the titles. Hey, cool. That's what matters. The only, like, animated stuff was in the middle. And it didn't happen during that. So that's all that matters. Yeah, I definitely asked Snack if I could do this, because I know he also did. He did endings for Three Houses. And I was like, I can definitely make this if I give myself the time to do it. And I gave myself a lot of time. I think we talked about this like 2 or 3 months ago at this point. I forget when I started planning it. But yes, let me give a huge shout out to, oh shoot, don't worry about it. It's called Fodlan Frames. It's a program that the year of the dub, guys. The houses came through. There is a program or an application that the dedicated fan base of Fire Emblem 3 Houses made. And it's just like a sandbox program where you can make endings, you can make ending cards, you can make supports, like support frames, and you can make quest frames if you ever wanted to do that. I think that's a little niche. Most people use it to make fake supports, as you could probably expect. But I was so happy this existed because the alternative was making these from scratch, which would not have looked anywhere near as good. However, I gotta give myself a pat on the back, because you may have noticed it absolutely... I did not just use the vanilla program. I went into the code, guys. I went into the code for this. And I basically figured out how everything worked. And re-engineered it. What I really did was make my own assets to plug into it. I didn't really touch the code. I just touched like the objects in the code, and what they were referencing. But I used my degree to make this. That's how I'll put it. And that was fun and fulfilling. It might be. What was I talking about? I think I did allude to this at one point. Yeah, I might have alluded to this at one point. But you guys weren't going to guess what it was based on that. But it was just a lot of work in GIMP making the portraits, because I had to make them face the right way, crop a bunch of them. I had to give them that little like fade out gradient at the bottom to kind of make it look real, like how it would look in game. I made the background image, which, sorry, I don't want to like spend forever just doing this, but I want to share. I was excited to make this. We should have time for the tier list, no problem. I don't think this will be a very long one. Where is this? So this is... So this is what it looks like. This is like straight from the program. This is just out of 3 houses. This is just straight from 3 houses. And I made, and I made, and I made, and I made. This. And I made this cool. I think so. Convincing? I think it's pretty convincing. If you don't squint enough, if you don't squint too much. You can kind of see where I scrubbed it at the bottom, but like, I don't know, it was fun to make. This was the first thing I did, because I was like, this isn't going to work if I have to have the 3 houses background. Like that, I'm not going to use this if I have to do this. But it was fun. And then I just had to figure out how to put new assets in there and change their names and stuff. It was cool. It was fun. Once I did that, though, it was easy. Stick them on a timeline in Premiere and narrate over the endings I wrote, which took forever to write, because some characters, guys, I didn't know what to do with. They weren't all something. Some of them were nothing. I had to make stuff up. Yeah, well, I think Stahl and Muriel had a bit at least. That one was founded in something. That was one of the first ones I wrote. Flavia, I didn't even try to write a bit for. I wrote like an honest ending. I was like, they lived happily ever after. She was the last one I was hanging on. And I was like, I need to get to work on making the actual video. I'm just going to write something. Like, I had nothing for her. Ruger was a insane bit at the end. I was like, what am I going to do? I want to sneak Ruger in, but he's not getting his own standalone ending. Who can he torment or get with? Who can he either torment or get with? And I figured, like, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of both. All right, real quick. Callum was one of the first ones I wrote. Oh, I like Robin. Where's Na? Na. I really liked the ending I wrote for Na. It endeared me to her a little. Get over there. Get over there. Where's the funny dude? Yeah, so here's the thing. They gave all the kids their generic hair colors because, well, they have to. Like, they don't know who I had. Is that everybody that was benched? Yeah, this is us. This is the army. This is the, as of season 2 at least. And I'm just gonna add a quickie. That'd be funny. Who was new to season 2? Or like, who came back for season 2, I should say. I don't know if was Shirsh in season 1? Cordelia. Gangrel. Gregor. Henry. Lawrence. I'm just trying to see, like, who did we bring on board in season 2? That wasn't really on board before. I think Shirsh was in the army. You're on the bench. I think this was our season 1 cast. Does that seem right? Oh, Fred. I think this was our season 1 cast. If I do recall. Was Rickon? No. He's not a breakout. He's hardly a breakout. But I think he was considered army is the thing. This is his character tier list. I think he was on the army and just unremarkable in every way. He was in the army. I would have to go back and watch the first VOD of season 2 to tell you for sure. This was us, I think. And it's weird because we, like, Pokemon released her halfway through, remember? She went with the goats. But we didn't use any of these guys. These guys were new. I mean, obviously these two were new. Okay. Do I want to leave the whole bench on the bench? Yeah, I think so. Except maybe kill him because he had a raw ending. And then let's just make our... Put everybody else up here. Just for sorting purposes. And then we can literally just start placing them at that point. Thanks everybody for getting your guesses in. This was the most participation I think we've seen for one of these. Which is fun for me and hopefully fun for you. I don't know if this is fun to do. It's fun for me though. It's fun for me to see you guys make guesses and get concerned about them. But I agree. I think this is a very hard one. I think I know 3 or 4 of the top 5. But I think those like last 1 or 2 slots in there is a toughie. This we'll just call top 5. All right. How do we start this? Let's throw some bads. Very easy. Except Yarn was... I don't like Yarn, I don't like doing his voice, and I don't like... I'm not a big fan of him. But he was kind of cracked in Apotheosis. Did that endear me to him? Not enough. So here's the deal with Yarn, guys. Oh, we're dropping frames like nutty. Whatever. We might turn back our settings going forward again. At least until we're past the P3 ending. After that, we can do whatever. Here's the thing about Yarn. Here's what I associate with him. Iconic session in the first half of the playthrough with the Yaz and Kaz gym. That was funny. That was a good one. That was a great, like, plot of the week. And then I brought him onto the team for Season 2. And he contributed so little. I think he did pretty bad on the wheel. I didn't like doing his voice ever because it's an annoying voice. And I feel annoying when I do it. And I don't know. I mean, like, the only positive I can think of is that I thought he was fun to use in Apotheosis. Berserker's correct. But that doesn't really do much. He got the Ruger end, which is funny. But he's an easy last place, I think. Unless there's another here. Am I gonna... Oh, Raw. The song rules. This is one of my favorite Fire Emblem songs. I put this over the Gregor segment, and I was like, this doesn't fit at all, but it's kind of raw. I kind of half-assed the music, I won't lie, guys. That was the last part I did. I was like, how am I going to fit 20 minutes of music? That was a 20-minute video. I don't know if you, like, felt that it was that long. Probably Gangrel. Yeah, he didn't really amount to much. I blame the wheel for that, actually. And Walhart destroyed him also. He immediately overshadowed him. I don't know if he's next, but he is gonna go down here probably. Is he next? Yeah, the wheel screwed him over, actually. I think next is between him, Stahl, him and Stahl. Stahl gave me the opportunity to do a Mickey Mouse joke. That gets him a little more points. Do I think this is C tier? I do. This works, I think, these two, for sure. Like we said, Gangrel screwed over by the wheel. I do think his first session where we like decided to use him was raw. It was a coin flip. You remember I was like, if he hits this, if he kills this guy, he gets on the team, and if he doesn't get on the team. And he killed the guy, so he got on the team. And we put him on the wheel. And I will say, if we hadn't put him on the team, I don't know if we would have put Walhart on the team. I don't remember if I was planning to do that. I think I probably would have, though. Walhart's raw. But I'm just saying it might have affected how that would have gone. And Gangrel Groink was funny to say. And that's a VOD name that I remember well. Gangrel Groink. Remember he was using Rescue on Emran? Oh, why do I have a vocal theme in here? I have to talk over it. Guys, don't freak out. I'm turning it down, I'm sorry. Stall. Vibing so hard. Stall was actually like a pretty alright unit. For a guy we didn't use at all. I feel like when he was on a map, he like managed to be clutch. And I liked the idea of in season 1 the bench was Disneyland, and him and Muriel were like the progenitors of that. And it was funny having like the same bit for them done from different angles, kind of. Like they weren't one character as a result of it. Despite being nothing, they managed to be distinct. And I feel like it would have been really easy to just have them both doing the same thing all the time with something like that, but I don't know. He's the best of the nothings, kind of. I don't I don't know how to put it. And he says, guys, one of my favorite voice clips in this game, I put it in the ending there because he didn't have any iconic ones in the playthrough. So I put my favorite one, which me and my brother say all the time, still to this day, which is very nice. I just like how he says it. Very quotable to me. Very normal thing to say, but just the way the cadence in which he says it is funny to me. Next is B. And at the bottom of B, actually, there's still some C's. There are still some C's, but I think at this point they're real. These three are kind of nothing for me. But we finally have like a pulse. This one is... This one is my own personal baggage, actually. I am gonna put next, I think, Libra. Because I actually, in spite of it all, I don't like the bit I landed on for him. I got stuck in a bit. I did like writing the ending for him, but I was like, what am I doing? Every time he was on screen, I'm like, why am I doing a Date voice? And it doesn't even sound like Date, and it's such a force. Sometimes he gets stuck. He does look just like him, though. Oh my god. But yeah, I just felt like, because he was never meant to be a character. He was a bench guy, and it was funny back then because he was just on the bench. And when he became a character, I was like, what do I do with him? Fun ending to write, though. He ushered in the Fire Emblem theme. The credits. He turned out pretty good towards the end, but then I think he fell off again. He kind of bell curved. I couldn't count on him in like Apotheosis, I don't think. But Dreadfighter did some good for him. Next, I think, is Muriel. Who is more raw than Stall. Because she absolutely carried that one chapter. She had an episode. The thing about season 2 is that characters had episodes. She was a main character one week. She clutched out the Rogues and Redeemers 2, I think. I think that was the one. And that was a big session for her, and I was actually so proud of her. Sometimes you're proud of a unit, you know? And I felt real pride in her. I was very happy for her. Hi, sis. But that's kind of it, you know? I can't give her much more than that. But I think it earns her more than these guys. Did we win the future? Yeah, it was wonderful, sis. The best plot in the game. If you have any interest, you should check it out. It was wonder. That might be the end of C. Is it? It might be the end of C. If this were pure performance, there would be more C's. But there's some entertainment value to be had. With my boy who's going to go at the bottom of B. Sticky Ricky. He was maybe the worst, least dependable unit ever. He became a lawyer. Hey, you know, I don't know what happened to him. He fell off so hard. He was like, I know we used him in season 1, and I know he was bad there, but he must have contributed. In this, he was bad, but he was entertainingly bad, I think. And then Paladin Rickon happened, and it was really funny. He had some funny supports. I know his conversation with Gregor at the festival was awesome. That was a funny one. Or no, with Henry. The one with Gregor, that was the one we were scared of, right? The one with Henry was awesome. The one with Gregor wasn't bad, but that wasn't the one I was thinking of. The Henry one was really funny. He wanted the dark magic. But he was definitely, Rickon was a character, is the thing. Like, he existed. These guys not as much. So I'll give him bottom a B. Next up. Dang, we had some good players. We had some good players. I'm gonna do this real quick just to. Yeah. Bragging on next, yeah. Who is next? There are a couple of options here. Maybe Sayri? I did like Sayri. She said I. And I liked doing her voice. Didn't actually look at our guesses. No, I just note reacted. I always note react just to say, like, I know you submitted. Thanks for playing. She was a GVOP. And she was. Might be next. Yeah. I think that's fine. B is still good. I liked her though. I like Sayri. I wish she had more supports. She's a cool character. She feels kind of wasted by the plot, sort of. I think she has a really cool design. I think the like lilac color looks cool, and the big fuzzy sword master thing. But I don't know. She didn't do that much in this playthrough. She said I. She was kind of Scottish sometimes. Most of the time. She came back. She came back in a post Xenoblade 2 world and was just Morag, kind of. But pre-season 2, she was still Scottish, I think. I think she predated her. She was the original Scotswoman of the stream. They played a little ping pong, I guess. I agree with that, Neff. But she didn't do that much, and she was kind of disappointing late game for me. I was really expecting her to be like a star unit, and because during the time skip, she was showing promise. She didn't really amount to much, though. Yo, raw. Next up, there are a couple who can't do much better, even though I do like them. I don't think I can let them go much further. This guy went way farther than he deserved. More than any other character on here, I hated doing Vake's voice. When I brought him on for season 2, I was like, what am I doing? No. However, he was amazing that one session. The festival. So funny. What a king. He came to life. I think that's awesome for him. And it fit into the lore so perfectly. Looks like Teach just got. But this is as far as I can put him. He didn't perform that well. He didn't do much up to that point. I hated doing his voice. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm gonna put him here. Skip the song, maybe? Oh, this one? Yeah, no, I can skip that. That shouldn't be in here, really. Yeah. Oh! And I had fun doing his voice that night. And only that night. Oh, my stomach! Next, I'm going to give to... maybe... Now it's tough to place this next one, because now it's like, now I'm remembering their strongest moments and being like, man, that was like really funny for them, but that's like all they have, kind of. Biases are starting to creep in a little. Oh, this one feels mean, but they weren't much of a character. I think they got far on charisma alone. They got this far on charisma alone. I like her a lot, but she goes here. She didn't do that much this playthrough. She was pretty cracked at some parts, though. She had big damage. But she was never the star. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Nev. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about her. She's literally here, like, these guys have bits. She doesn't even have a bit, but she's... I do like her. But that's as far as I can take her. She was a consistent unit. She was never the star, but, you know, she did what she needed to. Kingo's gonna get stabbed next? What could you mean by that? I mean, I know what you mean, but... no, I don't think that's the case. Next, I will give to... There are quite a few B's left, I think. I think next is Lawrence, who could have been here a while ago. But he became a cracked unit. A really funny bit with him is that I took maybe 5 or 6 weeks to settle on a voice for him. I took a while to settle on a voice for him. He kind of gradually evolved into like a... He went from like a generic, like, I'm this voice or something, to like a Dunban almost, like a quiet, unenthusiastic Dunban, to more of like a, honestly, almost like a Sis 16 Will. Almost. He was like a Bakura almost by the end. He became a little Karibo by the end, I think. That was kind of what I was channeling. A bit of a little Karibo character. And he was fun today. He was fun in Apotheosis. Some of his supports were really funny. I think he was funny in the Hot Spring. He brought it back for himself. And I kind of like him. I think he's just kind of a... maybe... Muriel's pretty funny sometimes. There she is. Oh, right above. But I think he's more consistent than her. They're too similar. They were like, what if the kid was just his parent? That's what this one... That's what they did with these two. But they have little differences. I think I like him a little more. Next is probably... I think I see two. Two that are kind of similar. Two characters that I really do like. Yeah. I'm gonna put Fred next. And, well, do I think that? So funny in the DLC specifically. He was really funny. He wasn't a good unit though. He was an awful unit. And he was nothing in Season 1. I hated Season 1 Frederick because he would always be talking to Crom. And my voices for them aren't that different. And so when they were talking to each other, I would just go even deeper voiced for Frederick. And it was just kind of the same voice, but me going, my lord. Yeah, the roster one was hilarious. He went to his hairdresser. He was funny during the festival. He was funny on the beach. He griefed Beach Anna. He was pretty funny, that Fred. I might bump him up a little in a minute. Had some good supports. He married into the family. He's a pretty funny Fred. The other one I was looking at, and this is crazy because this is like a top, like one of my favorite characters in this game. I mean, not like the very top, but he's gonna have to tap out a little because he didn't have that much of a bit. And I'm gonna give it to Lonku. He's so raw. He's really cool. He has some awesome supports. He was a pretty good unit. But he didn't have like that much going on. I don't really remember him having too many standout moments. The most standout moment I remember is when we repaired Wado Ichimonji. Because it was going to break, and we were like, we can't have that happen. And he killed Yenfei, and it was Ra. He became the King of Hell. That was fun for him. That was cool. He had Zoro's swords. That was his bit. I don't think he was Zoro, but he had his swords. And that was kind of all he had going for him. And I didn't love doing his voice. I don't like doing gravelly voices. I've never voice acting to play through again. Let's pick up some speed. Do I think it's a Season 2 guy? Look at these guys. Oh, I could do something so devious. I don't think I can do that. But I might feel that way. I think they're next to each other, at the very least. Oh, no, it's not them. Oh, someone's gonna be so mad at me about this, but this might be it, unless I can find an escape route. I think this is happening. I don't see the escape route. I'm so sorry, Kingo. Olivia's next, and I really... I'm sorry! Yeah, there she is. I do like Olivia a lot, and Grillbacks was going to marry her, but he didn't. But I didn't love doing her voice. Sometimes it was fun to do, and sometimes I got too into it and was like taking the piss. Sometimes I was like, what if I was annoying for a second? What if I allowed myself annoying negative, annoying positive for me, but also like, I should cut this out. But I like her, and she was great. Dancer's fun. I wish we rolled her more on the wheel. There were some chapters where she would have been huge, but we didn't have that luxury. Henry won the Wheel of Welcome. And it was a narrative building over the whole season. And it was funny that he won. I liked coming up with names for him. Kingo. I put it in the ending. I called myself out. And I wanted a little pink-haired Morgan, but that's okay. I actually thought he was genuinely pretty funny in the festival. Again, I'm going back to that Rickon one. That one was really fun to do, and I feel like it shaped something for him in my head, of him just being some guy peddling dark magic. Yeah, I don't know. Funny. It's better to acknowledge character development. Any more Bs? I think there are Bs left. But I think we're effectively in top of B territory at this point. We're in B positive. I think next is Cordelia. Can I do that? No, she's a she's Aeon gameplay. She makes Aeon gameplay. Oh shoot. She's too important. I feel B in terms of the playthrough though. But of everyone in season 2 who came back, she came back like the strongest, like physically. And it's thanks to Gale Force, let's be real. But she carried Apotheosis, so I think I gotta put her up here. That's too big of a carry. That's too big of a gameplay carry. Henstifer, I can't do that. She's not down there. I did think she was kind of boring I didn't like come up with anything funny for her or entertaining. I didn't really give her a funny voice or anything. I think I started to like the character less even throughout the playthrough, which is crazy. I was like, a lot of her supports don't really make me like her that much. It's crazy, actually. I used to really like her, though. I married her my first playthrough. She was the pull for Young Zabrag. I can do that. They were equal enough. They're married. I can do this. Oh, he's defending her from him. Like in their ending. Who else is B, though? There is more B. Is there? I don't know if we have any more Bs. I think we did well with this group. There's something nice to say about all of these guys that are left. But I think now that we're in A, I can be... Now that we're in A, I can be more C. Aha, that's nothing. I can be a little more aggressive, because now it's nice to put them down. Maybe like... Dang, this is actually tough. Usually the top is the toughest. This is the toughest. I think I feel inclined. I think Jerome. Here's the thing about Jerome. Here's the thing about young Jamie. Sometimes I like to give someone the Chie Award. That's what I call it. The crest of reliability. And he gets that. He was always delivering in battle. Just in the way I needed him to. If you remember, the most on the ropes we've ever been was that one chapter, the roster chapter. He was huge in winning that for us. And all he did was like hold the line, kind of. But otherwise, I don't know, he didn't have any like crowning achievements. Wyvern Valley was a hilarious session. I somewhat attribute that to him because it was his paralogue. He was another deep, gravelly voice. He's just kind of Batman. That's clearly what they're going for, so I was like, yeah. But we made him a war monk, which was a fascinating path to see him go down. It really didn't do much for him. Renewal was kind of cool. Yeah, that is the one. We let them all die. That's as much as I can give him. I think Naf was saying it, he is a cool Frederick's son, I think. He does look like Frederick's son. I can definitely headcanon that. Okay. Easy enough. Cordelia's fine below him, I think. Because this is merit alone. She would be like down here somewhere otherwise. I hated her early playthrough. Remember how bad she was? She came back. And she had logged the jam with Donald, who will place much higher. It's too soon for Tiki. I liked Tiki. I had some fun with her. I think next might be... Next might be... Tarja, actually. Is it though? Something in my gut is telling me to pick her. She did have some standout sessions though. Again, the roster chapter was kind of all about her. That was like her one. That was her map. People have been shot. Oh. Uh-oh. The beach was funny. She had some really funny supports. I liked how... I think her and Varian had a really funny relationship. In that they didn't. But I tried to spin it in a heartwarming way in the ending. I was happy with that ending I wrote. But, you know, I don't know. She had that... She got owned by the Meyer guys. Remember that? But she also had Meyer. Forgot about Tharja that one time. That was a funny clip. But I think I'm just looking at everyone else, and that's the only reason she's here, kind of. Which bodes well for everyone else, because good job, guys. I didn't think I would have this many placing relatively high. Next, I'm gonna give it to... Two people had Tharja third. Two. Next, I'm gonna place... I'm between two. No, I'm not. One of their voices was really fun to do. One was Nitram. I love when Nitram plays. I'm putting Inigo down. Inigo is a top 5 character in this game for me. What? Did you have him, Will? And Sis? The song... Oh, this is the... what's the kingdom called? Brodia, right? I like Brodia. That's where they put all the... That's where they put all the zebra guys. Brodia is where they put all the zebra characters, and they nowhere else. I don't know. This is just the vibe I get. Incredible unit. I do think he fell off a bit with the advent of Severa. Yeah, those are the 5, Naf. Those are the zebra guys. I think those might be my top 5. She kind of just surpassed him and took him down. Yo, Ra. This is where he is. It was really funny, though, that the subplot of him and Morgan ending up together was fun. And I think he did fine. And it was funny that he kept flirting afterwards. It was a fun subplot over the course of many weeks. Well, Lucia's my number 2, I'd say. And speaking of which, next is Morgan. No. Who's next? Let's look at these guys. It's just tough now. It's actually just kind of tough. I'm gonna put Sumia next. That's easy enough. Another one of my, like, these two are maybe in my top 5. Without this playthrough context, I think. I think she just didn't see much in season 2. Yeah. She might go up a little. Recency bias might be keeping her down a little. She just feels the easiest to place next for me. We might revisit her. She is an easy revisit, but I think this is where she goes for now. Next, I'm gonna put A is still good. We might have to balance this a little. Might have to put some down in B. No, I love Sumia. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. No, rah. Noir being here still is interesting to me. What you need to understand about Noir is that among this cast, she might have been one of my favorite voices to do. She had a gross, stuffy nose, but it was cute and funny. And I think she was a great unit and a funny character in a lot of supports. I don't think she's going to go much higher, though. It's going to get easier in a minute, I think. I think Gregor's time is coming. But I don't know if he's down yet. It might be time for him. He was really funny, though. And actually, he was a pretty good unit. He's making it to S. Who's next? Who's even next? I'm gonna put Tiki next. Amazing unit. Busted. Halfway there. I promise these ones are gonna go faster. Which one's ours? They're all ours. Tiki is funny because when we got her, I was like, this is stupid. I don't like doing this voice. And then there was one session where I just decided to really ham it up. And I was like, this is kind of funny for me, at least. I don't know if anybody else is enjoying this, but I'm having fun with this. And she was cracked on so many chapters. I hated rolling her at first because she was busted. But once we started getting to the harder chapters, I was like, please, Tiki, please, please, Tiki, please, please, Tiki, please. And she played a big role in the finale today. Huh? She was the voice. This song, we just heard this kind of. Ah! She was dramatic. But she can cap off here. Next is going to be... I think I see two more. Two more that I can throw. Two more that I can throw. And I'm gonna go on Wayne. And I'm gonna go Noir. Owain, maybe my favorite character. He has been at one point my favorite character in the game for sure. Classic, just very zebra guy. I don't think that's a surprise. I'd have to reassess if he is right now. He's certainly still up there. But again, just like Inigo and Samia. In the playthrough, he's still really good. I loved doing his voice. Yeah, his bit was that he was him. He named all the weapons. That's attributed to him. I could always do another character sorter. Let's do it after Path of Radiance. Kaiji Tang. Awesome voice. It's back! Get out of here, Protea. It's all in here. Rah! So quiet. Whatever. It doesn't matter. And Noir we just talked about kind of, but she was funny. She said, "The enemy!" She talked like this. She had a stuffy nose. And it was an absolute how would I put it? It was the stars aligned because we did her support with Tharja, where she gets a cold, and that was her first support. And I was like, what if she had the cold for the rest of the session? And so she did, and then I was like, this is just her voice now. She had funny supports. I think her and Owain are perfect for each other. They might have been my favorite like Gen 2 pairing that we had here. Either that or Morgan and Inigo. Oh, Kelly Severo though. It's between those three. But they tap out here. Pretty solid units, never amazing, although in Apotheosis they were great. That's exactly what it is, Neff. It's missing a B section, but I love Comrades. But it is missing a little something. I was really excited when it got in Smash. Okay, this is good. This is great. I think next I'm gonna put Lucina, who I just really like as a character. She was the drink. She was strong across both seasons, I think. She carried the overarching Trunks narrative so far. From the starting line to the finish line. And she did it. She pulled it off. Hope never died. Hope never died, guys. Hope was on 1 for the whole playthrough. But I think she just taps out here is all. I love this song. Let's see. How are we looking? Are there any more A's? I think we're moving into... I don't know. That's dumb. I think maybe there might be one more I could put. These guys are all so important, though, at this point. These guys are the lifeblood. Maribel, top of A. Buying candies for the what were the candies for again? Okay. This is tough for me to do. But their presence was lacking in season 2, and that made me sad. No, I can't do this. It hurts too much. They were so big in season 1. I can't do that. Can I? No, we're in S. We're done with A, I think. We're in S, so there's no bad placement at this point. Everyone here is coming out a winner, but I think there's a little sour here. I think there's a little bit of sour here. Yeah, the power scaling. Bottom of S is still good. It's like Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, do I feel this way? I will let you guys argue if you feel against this. I can be talked away from this. No, I know, but I'm so conflicted. I think she fell off after season 1. She was so huge. But I think we lost her. She disappeared. Chris moments were so defining. Brian broke. Yeah, she passed the torch, kinda. Season 3, don't spoil it! 6 more months of Fire Emblem Awakening. She fell off a little, but I cannot deny how big a part of season 1 she was. She would have been like top 5 maybe. She had the 3rd most kills. I think she got the bronze medal, which I thought was awesome. I was so proud of her. Is that right? Naf, you tallied that up. Thank you so much. I think I remember she got the bronze. She's a big unit for us. Fun voice to do. She just fell off. She didn't have the double season pull. Okay. Oh, nicer. Oh, nicer. Next up, There's no right answer at this point. I'm gonna put Gregor. For a similar reason. He's like the anti-Sully. Where he was just funny in season 2. Because he showed up in season 2. Amazing. Amazing runaway. Breakaway star. Funny bit to do, funny voice to do. Sometimes I was like, should I be doing this? But that's how he sounds. I don't know, I just had fun doing the bits for him. It helped that I wasn't a big Yarn fan, so it was really funny to do, like... It's really funny for him to, like, not acknowledge him, kinda. He is absolutely a funny guy. He has some hilarious dialogue in the game. He turned out pretty good. He showed up a lot more than I thought. Those dialogue-heavy chapters towards the end, he was really funny in those. So, he makes it up here. Next, I'm going to... there's an elephant in the room on here. But I don't know. It's more about what they represent that's keeping them this high. Oh, rah! There's no right or wrong answer at this point. I think next I will give it to... God, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. Maybe Anna? Does that feel wrong? Oh, Anna Banana, though. No, that doesn't look right. Anna Banana, Laura Lean, just checking. So here's the thing with Anna. Season 1. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. Season 1, she was gonna marry Grillbacks. And didn't. That was a big start for her. She said welcome. We popped off. The Green Goats, massive, huge takeaway from this playthrough. Season 2 comes back, brings us the Wheel of Welcome. Funny in all the DLC. Pretty good unit. No. It's tough. I can't count the DLC Annas, but I kind of can. She dyed her hair. She was a natural. She's a natural redhead, you know. Apotheosis, we found out that the Anna we had all along was a different Anna. It was Anna from Tuesday. Anna from Friday had gone with the Green Goats and was still with them all along. She's too strong. Caught her influence. It's all over the place. Brought back the wrong Anna. Anna Banana. And her sister, Anna Verdana. From the Green Goats. I was very proud of that one. So who is it then, though? Who, though, is it then, though? Two of them are still on here because they're my children. Two of them are still on here because they're my kids. I don't know. I really liked Gaius. He does go not much further, though, I don't think. I think I see 4 here. I see 4 to place. I'm going to do them in order right now so we can get this moving. And I'm going to do... I'm going to do... I'm going to do... where was I looking? How do I feel about this mix-up? I almost placed Anna. That's crazy, actually. I think it is... At this point, I think it's between... Who I like more? I think it's going to go Lissa, then Brady. All right, let's talk about them. Kelly, famously a character that the fan base doesn't like, and I totally get why. Famously, the Luminion of Fire Emblem Awakening, along with Laurent. Where is he? They are the ones, kind of. But I liked her, and I had fun with her, and I like her with the blonde hair, and I liked her. She was fun. She was really good out of the gate as a general. I think she fell off usefulness-wise. But do you remember when she and Severa carried the final boss? Because they did do that. And they fell in love, and they got married, and we made our own endings, and it was wonderful. Her abs were made of steel. Her voice, I don't like... I committed to a voice, and I don't really know what it was. But in my head, I imagined that she took punctuation very seriously. When there was a period in a sentence, she pronounced it. That was kind of the voice, like, philosophy. It wasn't much of a voice. It was a weird voice, but I liked doing it. She was funny in a lot of her supports. But that's kind of it. She became the Griffin Rider as the daughter of Griffin, which I thought was funny. Or no, she didn't. No, she didn't. She became the Griffin Rider on the on the spreadsheet. She was going to be the Griffin Rider before any bits had been established, which I thought was really funny. She just became a swordmaster in the end, and I think she looked really cool as a swordmaster. Morgan, oh. She's my daughter, and she was funny, and she's just funny in game, and she's a gremlin. I don't know. We all said it. She was just vibing, I think. I think she was high on life. She had the munchies. She was, she had the funny subplot with Inigo. She was wonderful. The episode where we found her, which was the Grillbacks and Maribel wedding, was one of my favorite sessions. And yeah, she had a nice relationship with Bro. Lissa, what a dear. What a wonderful presence. A pleasure to have in class. This is okay. If I if I gave Jerome the Chie Award, I'm giving a new award that I'm establishing in the name of our good friend Estelise. The Pleasure to Have in Class Award. Just because she was funny. She's just a really funny character. It was fun doing her supports. She always wanted to be up front. She was a really good unit. She was funny in a lot of the DLC chapters. Her conversations were great. I think she just has a really cool design. And that's it. And she was in Xenoblade 2 also. Melvin, my son. I'm so proud of him. One of my favorite voices to do. His name is Melvin because he used the term Melvin once. He used the term Melvin as like a saying, and I was like, okay, he's Melvin now. Everybody's gonna call him Melvin. He was my grill son. He was always vying for his parents' attention. He was the one who most felt like both of his parents' son, kind of, and not like one or the other. I think he was the most fleshed out kid in that sense. He had a relationship with his family. Pretty good unit. Not incredible. I think he did like come close to Morgan at the end, by the end. We somehow captured some, definitely not to the same degree, but I feel like we captured another level of magic with like a silly little wedding with these two. Definitely not to the same degree, but I think it worked just because of the wheel. And yeah, I just loved doing his voice. He was one of my favorites. Okay, next I'm gonna give Raw Song. Now I think he goes Fraud. I'll say it right now. Scrapped emote potential in season 1. That session where he threw so hard. He threw so hard on the tree. Maybe the hardest anyone's ever thrown, and he kept throwing. It's like he lived into it at that point. I was like, man, Gaius, come on, dude. Funny guy, funny. He had a really funny session in season 2 where he became kind of Buggy-esque. And he rizzed up the he rizzed up all the big bads from Fire Emblem history, and they all followed him. That was really funny. I think he had more presence in season 1, but he definitely stuck around. But he was definitely a Zabrag fraud. I pictured him making the NL face so many times. The Lorca. And now, guys, now it is easy. No, it's not. It's still pretty difficult. But I think I can, yeah, Pixel's got it. I can finally play Skrillbax, who, as a character, is definitely a little... I think he's still S. He's a bit lower than these guys. But another another banger job with naming a character, because this man had multiple names. He was Grillbacks, he was Skivity, sometimes he was Hamstrung. Sometimes he was Pronouns. I think Maribel brought out some character in him that like wasn't really there, because I was kind of playing just a very straight man, kind of literally my voice. I wasn't even like voice acting him. I was reading him as me. Great banter with Crom. Some really good support to some of these characters. He really, we were saying it today, dropped the ball in Season 2 harder than many. I don't know what happened to him. He just didn't have the speed or defense, I guess. Yeah, he does get a lot of canonical nicknames. Means a lot to the playthrough. I think we did a good job with him. I remember being nervous that first session. I would love to talk about this playthrough more, but I think we'll save it for the tier list of the streams, where I will go into all the details about this playthrough, because this is one of the ones I want to talk about the most. But man, literally right time, right place. Skibbity funny. If we had done it 1 week later, it wouldn't have happened. Hey, no problem, sis. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry for going so late. Yeah. I don't have too much else to say about him. I attribute more to Maribel than him as far as their relationship goes, but we're getting close to top 5. I think next I am going to give it to Severa. Really liked doing her voice. It's just an easy voice to do. Love this character. I think she's really funny. She is kind of just like a tsundere, you know, type beat, but I think she's really funny. A lot of her dialogue is really good. Amazing unit. She was Donald's daughter, so what did we expect? And she had Gale Force, and she's just a good unit in general. But she played off well off of so many characters. We made up a relationship between these two because the game wouldn't let us. She had a thing for DILFs very early on. She's bi. She had a thing. She was trying to warm up the Long Coup for a bit. I think she had abandonment issues at the beginning. Mom and Dad left for the war and never came back, and she was trying to get back at Dad or something. But it turned into getting back at Mom. And then she met her, and she loved her abs, and she realized she was for her. Funny voice, funny supports. Her beef with Cynthia was hilarious. She was wonderful in this finale chapter. Oops. Her dad was Donald. So perfect. But no, it is real, and they just won't let us support them, the cowards. And I think this is where it gets hard. I was almost going to put Anna down. I don't know what I was thinking. I think Anna goes now, though. For all the reasons we described previously. I don't have to talk about her again. Best. Awesome. Thank you, Anna, for being great in this one. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for being a treat. What a treat. All right, it's down to 6. One guy made it so far. But man, who's next? Who's next? I think it's Walhart. Is it between you two at this point? Are you the only two left? Well, now not Kingo. Shoot. Is Snack the only one left then? Dang. This was a hard one then. Everybody's out. This was a hard one. Okay. I think there were 3 shoo-ins. And they're the 3 that have emotes. I think they were shoo-ins. I think they were easy, easy includes. I don't know that they're top 3, but I know that they're in this top 5. Didn't match one of the characters. Oh, well, it must have been Cynthia, right? You can't not recognize Maribel because that's literally it. And I think, is it? Oh, because her hair. Is that why? Or just not at all? Oh, okay. Well, that's her. We like her a lot. That's wild. Not wild if you like. I just think it's funny that the emote wasn't recognized. Alright, I think this is easy enough to figure out, actually. At the bottom, I'm going to put Donald. Because of these 5... Oh, I need to talk about Walhart. I'm so sorry. Yes. Sorry, Donnie. Hang out up there. Raw. And not just because of when he was in our army. He had one of my favorite like bits and narratives altogether, which is the war against him and Maribel getting the kill, which also propelled her quite a bit, I think. But in season 2, he came back, got his rematch with her. She beat him again, but this time he came along, put himself on the wheel, became one of our best units, got a chance to rematch her at the Wellspring of Truth, where they fought each other to like a stalemate. Neither of them could beat the other, as was proven there. But in lore, she beats her. She beats him. Fang-like, raw. So cool. He became Toru from Jackie Chan Adventures. That was one of my favorite running gags. That was what I equated him to. Maribel was uncle, and he became Toru. And he took care of the shop, and he took care of the kids. Raw guy, though. I think he commands an army of the dead. He was too stubborn to die. I think that's sick. The only spot pass character that I believe, kinda. Now next, question. Oh, Donald. Thanks for keeping me on track. Of the top 5 here, I think he was the least involved with season 2. Except on Tug's collar. He was definitely around on election night. Tugging my collar a little. He was definitely around that night. But he was a huge character in season 1. His legacy is too strong, as opposed to Sully's. And he was just a better unit. He was the future Gohan of Lucina's like Trunks narrative, which I think works well. The kids looked up to him. It kind of got dropped over time, but the kids looked up to him. He was also just Gohan. In that he retreaded his character arc. And he was Potential Man. He was all of it. He's Gohan. Never batted an eye. What? But he kind of fell off in season 2. Super Gollum. Yeah. Yeah. Did anybody have Crom placing this eye? I'm curious. Because I've just realized this like over time. King is playing Virtue / Reward. I think next, actually, this is crazy. Crom might outplace him for me. No. How did you have Crom this high? I didn't even know this until like this week. I was putting the finishing touches on that ending, and I was like, I like what Crom brought to the table. I enjoyed Crom. Anyway, Varian. Huge in both seasons. We have an emote of him. He was, I think, Snack, you were saying he was the first, Donald was the first bit? Varian was. Right out of the gate. Varian was kind of a guy that we like jokingly latched onto, as we would do. And we were like, yo, let's go, King, let's go, let's get it. Because I think he killed the boss on his chapter that he was introduced on. But then he kept pulling it off, kind of. He won the tournament in Regna Ferox. Flavia was like, he's the champion now. Zabragniel was a joke emote that I wanted to actually make after some time. I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it. I don't know if you guys actually want it, but I want it. There was the chapter in the desert where he had to live a turn and he pulled it off against all odds. I highlighted that because it was crazy. An archer survived enemy phase the way he did. I just couldn't believe it. He died in the Donald chapter. He was the first death of the playthrough. He was the first reset. Right after I said, this is going pretty well. Very funny clip. He just kind of farmed aura for the whole playthrough. In both seasons, kind of. He wasn't as prevalent in Season 2, but he was prevalent in, like, the supports. He stuck around through supports. And that's what kept him up here, I think. And he was a great dad. Now, this is tough. Because I'm still not sure if I want to put Crom down. And I don't think I am going to. I think next is Cynthia. The Cynthia session was the first, like, I was enjoying the playthrough. It was a great playthrough up to that point. This was like a Hall of Famer session for me. Out icon Crom. Interesting. Hall of Famer session. One of the best streams I've ever done. It was really fun. I was laughing the whole time. So much came out of it. It did define so much of the playthrough. I just don't think I took her anywhere too often. She was just funny to have around because she's a funny character. She got a gun in Season 2. We gave her a gun. That was my favorite reclass. Maple syrup was funny. Her supports were funny. A lot of that was just in the text. Really funny character, though. Great moment from her. I love Cynthia the character, too. I think she's really funny. I could totally see some people finding her annoying. I don't. She's stupid. She's wonderful. I love her I love how she gets a focal, like, episode in the DLC. And she was a great unit for us, very reliable. An array of sunshine for us. I think next now. What if I... What if I did this? This has a lot of weight to it. Guys, I'm kidding. It's next is Crom. He pulled it off, huh? Really fun protagonist for us to have. I don't think I usually do a great job with the protag in a game. And to be fair, I mean, it's a split role, and I don't think I did an amazing job with him. I had so much fun with Crom, though. And I'm again, maybe, possibly, gonna chalk it up a little to a little bit of Gintama influence. A main character who doesn't give a fuck, kinda. Who's tired of the junk happening around him. The second gen chapters were huge for him. He was tired of all these kids showing up. Yeah, he was like, I'm sick of all of you people around me. You're all stupid. I'm also stupid. I was the first bit in the playthrough. Not even you. I was the first bit in the playthrough calling this man Skibbity for no reason because I didn't like his original name. Crom, not me. He didn't like the name Grillbags. And he started calling him Skibbity and convinced himself his name is Skibbity. And I really liked saying, Skibbity. Especially in the serious scenes. But he was great in his supports. He didn't know half of this army. He really didn't care. He was just like, here for the paycheck. There was that one chapter where we did the Infinite Regalia, where he was just really tired. So tired of all the wacky fucks showing up. He got the wedding venue wrong, but it all turned out great in the end. He was great, and obviously being a main lord that you have to deploy all the time, he kind of has to be there all the time, and I didn't dread him being there all the time. I felt like he always had something going on, and he was enjoyable, and I loved doing him. Thank you, Crom Fire Emblem. Yeah, I agree, Kano. I mean, I always kind of liked Crom, but I think I appreciate a lot of aspects of him even more nowadays. I like him. Alright, post it. A character that felt alive, kind of, to me, at the very least. She had no trajectory at the beginning of the playthrough. Zero. The bit with her is that she wanted Crom to notice her. She wanted to marry Crom. And he would not give her the time of day. He was looking at all of his other options, maybe even Sully over her, maybe even Winchilda. And she couldn't get him to notice her. And then I would say the chapter where... So Crom gets married right before the in-game time skip. And then the time skip happens and Maribel is like, what about me? She was still vying for attention in a more chaotic way. And we brought her to Valm Harbor. Or, sorry, whatever. You know, the harbor chapter. Feroxy Harbor, I think. I think that's where that takes place. And I just remember Maribel Pleased was invoked there. I think I had it for that session. It's a made-up emote at the time. Because of that portrait. Because I thought it was a really funny portrait. And she kept dying on that chapter, and I was like, what is she doing? What are you doing? And she had nowhere to go. She was falling apart. No Crom. Enter Grillbacks, who has his own dilemma happening, where we've dropped off Olivia and careened over at Anna, because I'm like, oh, that would be kind of funny. And these two narratives are happening concurrently. And then the Cynthia chapter happens, and these two were like butting heads because they were two of the only ones left who were still single. And I attribute it to the brain rot of this chapter. I was like, what if these two got together? That'd be kind of funny. And we went all in. The wedding was awesome. She killed Walhart. She became a main character. She carried season 2. She was all over the wheel. She was on the wheel. Walhart was alive, and now he's dead, and now he's alive. She got her rematches with him. I loved doing her voice. Star Bright. Zebra has a type. Not a character that I really had on my radar for a very long time, but now I'm coming away with her as one of my favorite characters in the game. She's so funny. Hilarious. And not even like an emote that any effort went into, and it's one of my favorite ones to just put anywhere. I overuse that emote. It's so perfect. And I'm very happy with the Grill family. It felt the most familial, which is a fun takeaway to have, I think. And I don't have much else to say. What if a family? There's a lot more to say about this playthrough, I think. We'll save that for stream tier list night. That's going to be a long one. Look forward to that. Whatever. It'll be fine. Yeah. I don't know. That's it. Guys, this is the first of the big three to be totally gone. We're moving past new territory. This is an all-timer for sure. I had a blast. I put a lot of effort into it. It had a like fun meta aspect to it that I don't think any other playthrough had. Which I think is really cool and fun. I like when things feel fresh. And I was really scared to do this playthrough. I was so nervous before it. I thought it was going to flop. I was worried about how it would go. Thank you so much, Pixel, for making it possible. And hooking me up with that 3DS. Yes. Okay, I have to talk about this right now, real quick. Splitting this into 2 seasons and moving season 2 to Tuesday was a career-saving move. That's awesome. Thanks, Pixel. Thanks, everybody. I really think it was career-saving. If we had continued on with this, we would have not gotten to P3 for a very long time, and we would still be in the middle of that game. Which, who knows what that would look like, but... and if I had kept this on Friday, we would be ending P3 around now, and I would be going, alright, back to Fire Emblem. Like, there was just no winning. This was the move to make. Good job, me. That's it, though. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We went a lot later on the tier list than I thought. Who's surprised by that? No one except for me, I guess. I really loved making that ending. I want to talk more about that at some point, but that's it. We gotta go. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you, Crom. Thank you, Grillbacks. Thank you, everybody. Maribel pleased. The Brag Neil, the Brag Tablet. Thank you all.